Premier Heating and Air is now offering all homeowners up to $2,000 instant rebate and up to $2,000 federal tax credit with the purchase of a qualifying HVAC system. Financing available for all homeowners, so call Premier Heating and Air today and get up to $2,000 instant rebate and up to $2,000 federal tax credit with qualifying HVAC system. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company. Offer ends 11/30/23.
Good morning and welcome. I was thinking this morning I get to stand up and say to the November first Friday means business, and I just cannot believe it is November already, but it's been a great year. We still have 2 great months to finish out this year, and we got a great program for you this morning. I want to say thank you to the folks at Acre and Oak for sponsoring our breakfast this morning. We're going to hear from Cherie in just a few minutes. But I hope you've enjoyed a wonderful breakfast this morning. We're going to take time and return thanks. If you would bow and pray with me. Father, we love you so much, and thank you again for a brand new day of life that you've gifted us with today. And I pray that as we go through this day, we would just slow down and reflect and love and remember the blessings that we have and not take one of them for granted. Thank you again, as always. You provide us with a great community to live, to learn, to work, and to play, and we thank you for that. We thank you for the opportunity to gather in your presence this morning and have fellowship. Thank you for the wonderful meal that's been provided. Bless it to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to your service. In Christ's name, amen. If you would, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. And at this time, I would like to bring up our 2023 Chamber Board Chairman, Mr. Roger Miller.
Good morning. I hope that everybody's doing well this morning. Nice chill in the air is nice, crisp. I want to thank, on behalf of the Chamber, really want to thank Cherie and Acres and Oaks for sponsoring us today. Our food that we've been enjoying for quite a while now. Mike and his team over at Cracker Barrel, we've enjoyed that. So thank you guys for doing that. This month, November, has always been a time for me to reflect and be thankful for just all the things that God has given you, family, friends, faith. You can go on and on about what all God has blessed you with, but it really sinks in this time of the year, and I really would like for all of us to be mindful of that as we enter into the holidays here real soon. With that, I'm thankful for Malia Young. Malia, can you raise your hand? There's a reason why I'm saying that. Malia's been with the Chamber now for 24 years and has announced her plans to retire. She's going to be retiring on the 15th of November, which is next week. She said November 15th. We're going to do that next year instead of this year. Is that okay? Okay. But anyway, she's going to be retiring next week, and we are going to be having just a time of gathering from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Chamber on the 15th for you to come by and express your thanks for what she's done for the Chamber in this community. So we hope we want to encourage you to do that, but that's going to be November the 15th. So thank you, Malia, for everything you've done. We're going to hear from some local folks now, and we're going to start with Tara Bradshaw with the City of Dublin, Trey Kemp, followed by Trey Kemp with the Lawrence County Commission. We're also going to hear from Rhonda Walker, Lawrence County District Literacy Coach, and the Lawrence County First Representative. And we're also going to hear from Liz Green, Director of Marketing Communications at Fairview Park Hospital, and then Cherie Goodman of Acres and Oaks, who's going to say a few words. If y'all would just come in that order, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Good morning. How's everyone? Well, this morning, my name is Tara Bradshaw. I serve as the city planner for the city of Dublin. I manage the planning and development department for our city, and I am pitch hitting for our city manager this morning, Josh Powell. My average is worse than his, but for some reason he put me in anyway, so here I am. This morning I was going to do a little, do something a little bit different. I think you usually hear about overall projects of the city and things, and I want to just take a moment and tell you a little bit about what we do with my department, and maybe if for some reason that information is valuable, that you could share with others in the community. So in the Planning and Development Department, what we do at the City of Dublin, we're sort of a clearinghouse for all new development that's happening in the city. Right now you'll see that there's a lot of dirt moving all around our town, and what's really cool about our department is that we kind of get a front row seat to that. So I thought I'd just give you a preview of what's going on. Within our department we have several divisions. One of those is our building official and inspectors that go out and inspect all of the construction and review plans. But in addition to them, we also oversee our code enforcement officers and help strategize with them in cleaning up and revitalizing neighborhoods. We also handle all the community development and grants coordinating, and we manage all the facilities for the city. So if there's ever anything, first of all, that my department can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. We love to be a resource for all of our businesses and community members. So some of the questions that we get asked most often is, what's happening here? I hear we're getting a Publix. Hey, where's it going? I hear we're getting Olive Garden, and so sometimes things are true, right? And sometimes they're not. Do y'all hear that? You see the Facebook world likes to talk about what we have and don't have. And anyway, so what I thought I'd share with you is what we actually do have coming right now and what those development trends are. And I know I'm on the time limit, so this is going to go really fast. So right now we currently have about 75 active permits in our city. That means that's active construction happening, whether that's remodel, renovation, or new construction. One of the cool things to realize is that about 30 of those is commercial, right? And so I kind of pulled out those that are new construction, and these are the things that you'll be seeing around. And I don't know if you can see this from the back of the room, but what we're seeing is there's a good bit of new construction and renovation happening in the core of our town, and then you'll see that I-16 at 441 is a hotbed for us right now, and so there's a lot of dirt moving there. We have we have 2 new apartment developments coming, which we're very excited about. That's going to bring 128 new units. Half of those are market rate, half of those will be low income affordable housing. So that is fantastic. Our housing shortage is one of our biggest crises right now, and we're working every day with developers to design new neighborhoods and to figure out ways to make these new developments super livable for our town. We also have Aldi coming online very soon, which is our, yay! I know, Tammy, I'm excited too. They've done a great job there. And then you'll see we've got our first new brewery coming downtown that we expect to be going on. And then we have a new hotel down at I-16 coming online. And I'll just tell you that leisure and business travel and recreation travel for our community is at an all-time high. This hotel could not come at a better time. We're ready to see it online in 2024. And I can't tell you how to vote on Tuesday, but things like travel and for hospitality, leisure, and recreation are incredibly important. I don't know if you recently saw the numbers out from Visit Dublin, but travel and extra sales tax money in our community saves us about $400 per household all across Lawrence County. And so I'll just leave you with that to think about. So anyways, so this is what's going on. If you ever have any questions about what we have going on at the city, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Thank you.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
School's back in, and we all know what that means. Let's go to the end. Oh! God, get him
Whether
up.
it's football or softball or any other fall sport, Dublin Chevy GMC is here for you. Fall is in the air here in Middle Georgia, but the deals are still smoking hot at Dublin Chevy GMC.
Line up in that first group right now.
The scouts say we can't catch, throw, or run well, but they all agree we sure do sell cars well at Dublin Chevy GMC.
Hi, I'm Perry Williamson, and we've been baking here at Williamson's Bakery since 1927. In 1965, my grandfather, Merle Williamson, hung our name on this bakery. Ever since then, people have been stopping in for the Williamson's tradition. We invite you to do the same here at 1634 Veterans Boulevard, or catch us on Facebook, or just come get you some.
So the washing project that everyone read about in the newspaper earlier this week has been the worst kept secret, I think, in Lawrence County history. So every time I would go out to eat or I would go to the grocery store, someone would say, hey, when's the Korean project coming? When are you guys gonna make the announcement? And so I've been sitting on this for, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, something like that. And I thought, when is this gonna get announced? I'm tired of keeping this secret. But this week, I got to thinking about just how long a project this really was. And so SPLOST goes in 6-year increments. We're right at the end of our SPLOST in 2024. And so during this SPLOST, the site where that's going to go was mass graded. And the SPLOST before that was when the property itself was put together and purchased. So we're talking 12 years just to acquire the land. But what goes unspoken is just how much time was spent before that. So the city had to be brought on board that this was a good idea. The county had to be brought on board that this was a good idea. And so everyone had to agree that this was a viable SPLOST project from the very beginning. And that goes back 2 SPLOSTs ago from where we are today. Add all that together and you're talking about 18 full years, almost 2 decades from the time that someone had the idea until the very first project was announced in the newspaper Tuesday of this week. So I say all that to say that there's a lot of things going on with SPLOST, and there's a lot of things that are happening in the community. And we appreciate the commissioners on my side who voted on that. None of them are in office now, but I do appreciate them. But more than that, I appreciate you guys, because this couldn't have happened if folks hadn't voted on the SPLOST in the first place back in 2003, almost 20 years ago. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
Well, I've been given 2 minutes, so I'm going to try to make this very fast. We want to let you know a little bit about First Readers. First Readers is an evidence-based program that we have in our community. We've actually partnered with Fairview Park Hospital. Liz was going to be here. I think she has 2 babies and 1 on the way. So we're going to give her that out. But they have been incredible partners with us. This program provides books to those children from birth to 5 years old. They give them a book a month and also an activity that's age appropriate for that parent. We sign them up through the hospital. Those nurses have worked hard in creating that atmosphere there for them to feel very comfortable with the program and going ahead and signing up. Now, why is it important for books to be in those homes? I'm seeing all these great business things going on. Well, we've got to create citizens that can fill those positions. And we know birth to 3 years old, 85% of brain development occurs then. Now, what we also know is there's a direct correlation between books in a home and academic success. So, we want those books in that home. Kids need language, they need literacy, and they need that security of social-emotional that comes from reading a book with a parent or a grandparent. Now, here's the stats that's going to get you. In a middle-income home, you've got 15 books, age-appropriate books, per child. In a low-income home, you've got 300 kids per one book. So, can we guarantee those books are going to be read by those parents? No. But if those books aren't in those homes, we know they will not. So, you'll probably see me around in some of the businesses because we want to create an atmosphere where we have enough funding in our community so that we can provide these books to kids in their homes with these activities. And you're going to get to hear from Jill, and she's going to tell you even more about the importance of those first few years of life. So, thank you.
I'm Cherie. I'm with Acres and Oak Kitchen in downtown Dublin. It's our honor to be able to sponsor this event this morning. We have just celebrated our 30-year anniversary. We have also just launched an online shipping department, so you are able to go onto our website and ship things across country to family and friends that don't live near you. We also offer our corporate orders for business owners or anybody that wants to service, your employees or your staff or your customers. Y'all just come down and see me. And thank you for everything.
How to outsmart the outdoors. Think fast. That needs work. That needs trimming. That needs cleanup. But all that work takes a lot of tools. Lucky for you, that tool, that one, they're all the same tool. That's smart. Super smart. That's the Echo Pro Attachment Series. Gas-powered, battery-powered. 16 attachments for hedging, edging, trimming, tilling, cutting, blowing, paddling. Yeah, that too. It's outdoor grade, professional grade, commercial grade, which is great for making your yard look like it belongs in a commercial. Echo, power on and on.
Hey, I'm TJ with Dublin Outdoors and Power Sports, formerly known as Myers Equipment Supply. We're your full-line sales and service dealer for Echo and Shindawa handheld products.
North, south, east, or west, Friendly Gus is on your way today. Fuel up with Friendly Gus's delicious breakfast, made fresh every day. Your wallet and your belly will thank you. Choose from our 20, 40, and 60-piece chicken finger and wing platters. And don't forget the tater logs. Our food is always fresh and our service is always friendly. Friendly Gus, on your way today. Also shop Cochran Brothers Cash and Carry at 320 South Jefferson in Dublin for additional items like paper products, chicken wings, bulk drinks, spices, sauces, and more.
Quality products and installations since 1985. That's 4 Seasons.
Kind of following up on what Rhonda has begun, we're going to be listening from Jill Taylor. And let me read her title. It's kind of lengthy, so I'm going to mess it up if I don't read it. She is the Director of Community Partnerships and 2Gen Partnerships. Did I say that right? All right. And with the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. She's been with this agency for about 9 years. She's now just, I think this week, became the director. And she's had a lot of new things as of late. She got married in June, and she and her husband have 3 adult children. So congratulations there. And Cherie just got married 3 weeks ago, so we celebrate that with her. Jill is from Statesboro. She's been there for about 2.5 years. Originally, she's from Fitzgerald. And you've got a lot in it to talk about with us, and we just look forward to hearing you come and speak, okay?
Good morning. I'm grateful to be here with you all. Heath and I were talking, it's been several years since I was here. I was here for First Friday, probably 5 years ago maybe. So it's nice to be back. So yes, I am Jill Taylor. I am working with the Department of Early Care and Learning, but it's also, we have the longest state agency name. It's right from the start, Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. It's very long, and also you may hear me refer to it as DECAL. So, and I'll talk a little bit about what we do in just a moment. But yes, I did get married recently, and I'm certainly happy to share that we did get married in Vegas. And I am one of those that did that. So it was a lot of fun. So not Elvis. Elvis was not in the picture. But anyway, so DECAL, Department of Early Care and Learning, is responsible for meeting the child care and early education needs of Georgia's children birth to 5. So in our budget, our operating budget is a $982,473,880. I know you like numbers because this is a business meeting, so I wanted to share that. But our budget is made up of state funds, lottery funds, and federal funds. And the federal funds that we have come from the Child Care Development Fund and nutrition from USDA. Just want to share that. DECAL was created in 2004 as an act of legislature and by the Governor Sonny Perdue, and we are one of 4 states that have a dedicated standalone state agency for early education, which is exciting to know. It's good that we have all things under one house, and of course there's a couple other things we'd like to bring in-house, but right now that's what we have. We administer and regulate critical early education programs that support Georgia's families. And to tell you a little bit about some of those programs, many of you probably know us for Georgia's Pre-K. You hear about Georgia's Pre-K a lot. And it's lottery funded. 60% of Georgia's 4-year-olds are in Pre-K, which is good. It is lottery funded, and Universal Pre-K serves over 80,000 children, 80,000 4-year-olds each year. Then probably know more about us from our licensing and regulation. This is our Child Care Services Division, and it monitors about 4,500 licensed child care programs. Each child care program in the state of Georgia receives 2 visits per year per program to ensure compliance with health and safety rules and regulations across the state, which is important to know, and at least 2. Sometimes there are programs that need more than 2 visits per year. And then we have our quality rated program. Every state has a quality rating and improvement system. In Georgia, it's called quality rated. So there you will see, if you ride by a child care program, you'll see a star rating, a 1, 2, or 3-star rating, and that determines the level of quality, kind of like a hotel or a restaurant. Our Child Care and Parent Services Division, our Child Care and Parent Services, which is our CAPS program, is Georgia's subsidy program. We have nutrition services. We have a Head Start collaboration office. Every state has a Head Start collaboration office. Director, and ours happens to be housed within our agency. We have many inclusion services, which is important because sometimes we have there are programs that have some challenging children, and there are some children who need some extra services, and so we do have an inclusion division to help with that. We have infant and toddler supports, and we have several quality initiatives, professional development programs, and grants that are across our agency. The importance of high quality early education. So we talk about funding and how all this is funded. And I can't read my notes from here, so I'm going to get out here to read. But, and Rhonda, you did hit on some of this already. So to talk about rapid brain development takes place from birth to 5. Early education associated with improved academic achievement, cognitive development, self-regulation skills, and social-emotional development. All children benefit from high-quality preschool, but especially children from low-income families and dual language learners. And children who enter kindergarten ready to succeed are more likely to read on grade level by 3rd grade, graduate from high school, go to college, and be productive members of the workforce, which is what's important to all of us and all of you here. Think about childcare as the workforce behind the workforce, if that's helpful. So think about making sure that childcare programs have qualified teachers. We can oversee some of that, but remember, childcare is a business itself. We don't license them for their business part, but we do the licensing for rules and regulations for safety, health and safety measures. But every program is different. But please don't ever judge a child care program at the outside of their building. Always take a chance to go inside, take an opportunity to go inside and visit these programs, and thank those teachers who are working day after day, many times from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to take care of children so that their parents can go to work and support the community. So Georgia, here's what Georgia's early education landscape looks like. There are about, roughly, I said around 4,500, but if you break it down between the child care learning centers and the family home providers, there are some of the numbers that show the differentiation between the two. And they are licensed to operate across the state. There are families who are receiving subsidies. These are families who go to work every day, and their children, these are low-income children that we are helping to pay for, so their parents can go to work and or school. Some are doing some of both. And so that is our Child Care and Parent Services program. But it looks like for 49,262 families that are receiving subsidies, for 89,937 children with an active scholarship. So that's a lot of funding that goes through our office to ensure that these families have a place to send their children to high quality child care. 2,880 providers, child care providers, are quality rated with 1, 2, or 3 star rating. And in the 22-23 school year, Georgia's pre-K served over 73,465 children. But our slots we're slotted for about 80,000, and that does vary. So I can give you, on this page, I can talk a little bit about Lawrence County, because I want to make sure that you know some of the numbers and how to access the data that you may be looking for so that you can look at the population around your county in regards to early education. So if you go to, we have partnered with Georgia Early Education Alliance for Ready Students, also known as GEARS. And so with GEARS, they put this early childhood profile out, and you can go to their website, and pull this data and look at it, because it's very small on this slide, but still you can see how many licensed providers you have in this state, in your county, how many children there are, how many young children there are, how many, there's lots of other data that is pulled in here. It talks about the poverty levels. Gives you lots of information around early education that you may be interested to learn more about. I can send it to Heath if you want, and he can send it out to all of you if you want that information. But to break down, I can give you a little bit about the Georgia's pre-K numbers. Now for the 22-23 school year, the 4-year-old population was 638 4-year-olds, and there were 21 classes for Georgia's pre-K, serving a capacity of 460 children, or capacity for 460 children. The enrollment was 444, because there were 4 children on a wait list. If you look at that, that's a fill rate of 97%. That's really incredible for Lawrence County. That's great, knowing where most of those children are. I don't have those numbers yet. I pulled the numbers because it's hard to get the numbers for this year, but I was able to pull the numbers for last year. And the saturation rate for 4-year-olds is 72% of those being served in Georgia's pre-K. Now what we do know is what we don't know exactly was where are the rest of the children. Then sometimes people ask me that question, where are the other 4-year-olds if they're not in Georgia's pre-K? Well, many child care programs, both public and private, do offer Georgia's pre-K in their program, so it may be there. There are children that just their parents want them to stay at home, and they're teaching them at home, or maybe they're with their grandparent, or they may be in a church preschool. There's a variety of places that these 4-year-olds may be as we talk about wanting them to be prepared for school. So I can tell you that anywhere children are, we as a community and as a state, we want their environment to be good and language rich, right? And you talk about that. And you have a representative here who can probably talk a little bit about the H Bill 538 as the building a Georgia Council on Literacy, right? So there's lots of information that you could probably learn about to talk about what Georgia's doing as a state to increase literacy. But if you are just interested in wanting to know where these children are, and based on this data, go into the GEARS website, Georgia Early Education Alliance for Ready Students, and their information they put on there comes from our website too. So a little bit about K-12 versus birth through 5. So we know that attendance for K-12 is compulsory, and most students attend, but for birth to 5 it's not. And varying levels of attendance for children for K-12 versus birth through 5. The funding for K-12 students attend at no cost. And for birth to 5, the cost varies based on what providers decide it is. We don't decide what they charge per child. They decide because it's their business. For access for K-12, there are more consistent access across the state and communities. And for birth to 5, it varies greatly across the state and communities. And the structure, of course, is public system for K-12, and mixed delivery system for birth through 5. So just wanted to put some differences out for you all, because we have conversations with people across the state in many areas, and a lot of times they think that learning starts at 4-year-old, at preschool or pre-K. And we want you to think about it in terms of birth to 5, that there's so many great things that we can do to support birth through 5, and I want you to be aware, and I have some slides that will talk about that. If you're ever looking to find you want to know how to find licensed childcare in Georgia, you can go to qualityrated.org, and this is what you'll see. You'll see a place where you could put a location in. If you are looking, if someone new comes to town and they may want to work, and they're going to work in some area, some building, some company, but they need to know where childcare may be from their home to the building. On this website, it will give them a list of all the quality rated childcare programs along the route, which is good. Somebody may need that. But if you also just want to know about how to find childcare in a county, any county across the state that's licensed, there is a website that you can go to and pull it up by county. If you're interested in that, I can send it to Heath, and he can send it out to all of you as well. The availability of high-quality childcare and early education plays a key role in Georgia's workforce development and economic growth. I don't think I need to tell this group that at all. I think you're very aware of that. But I did want to share very quickly with you a brand new funding opportunity, because it's supporting the workforce and economic development, and it's called our Expand Grants. So this is an opportunity for working parents, and DIGCAL is expanding parents' access to non-traditional delivery. These are brand new. This is using our ARP funds, our ARPA funding that we have, and this is one of 19 projects that we're working on with that funding. But why did we decide to do this? Now, Expand Grants is supporting working families who work non-traditional hours, because we know that there are firefighters, we know there are police officers, we know there are hotels, we know there are many businesses that operate not only this county but across the state, and hospitals that work non-traditional hours. A lot of times there's not a child care program that is open non-traditional hours. So for this particular grant, we have done some research to determine where some of those areas needed to be. We needed to focus some of those areas and put some funding toward to be able to support licensed child care providers on even staying open a little bit later, extending their hours a little bit later, or opening a little earlier in the morning. But also, we knew that that wasn't the answer to all of that. We know that those licensed child care providers, and we have 7 grantees for licensed child care providers, and yes, they can use those funds to do those things, to pay staff later, to make sure that they have security system, lights, whatever they may need to be able to run their business for non-traditional hour care. But we also have 6 grantees that are collaboratives. These are nonprofit organizations or government entities. And these are working with a collaborative, a business, to be able to look for childcare for their employees in a particular area. And I'll show you some of those examples. So for our collaboratives, the Alliance Theater in Atlanta, City of Thomasville Payroll Development Authority, they're working with a hospital, Columbus Technical College, Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. They have hospitals all across the state where they have employees that need non-traditional hour care. Navicent Health is also with hospitals, and Manufacturers Education Foundation, which is the Georgia Association of Manufacturers. There are many industries across the state that they are working to find child care for those employees. Some of them, in the beginning of the grant, they're going to do somewhat of a needs assessment. They've heard that that their employees are working parents and need care for their children, but they're not 100% sure. So they're going to spend some of the time to do a needs assessment. And these are a list of the child care programs. So these are a couple of things I wanted to make you aware of, and some things that you can do as a community. So what can individuals do to promote high quality early learning experiences for children before they enter kindergarten? So a couple of things that you can do as a community, an individual, for your community. Write op-eds for the local newspaper about why quality early education or early learning for all children from birth on is important. Ask a child care provider, or even a grandchild's child care provider, if they're quality rated. If not, ask what you can do to help. And Heath has also, with the Chamber of Commerce over the years, has worked very hard to support child care programs. And so done a great job. So touch base with him if he wants to work on that project again. Tell an expectant parent about the search tool for high quality child care at qualityrated.org. What can communities do? Convene all pre-K providers both public and private to share waitlist data, training opportunities, and program needs. Convene early learning professionals together so that they have an opportunity to build relationships with each other. Host community-wide pre-K registration days, and you may already do that. I'm not sure if you do or not, but some counties do, and you probably do that. Just have access to different, I'm not going to say vendors, but somewhat vendors to be able to provide care for children and families that they may need, just a resource place for them, which is a great opportunity. And these are just some things. I could probably ask you all, and you probably could tell me 10 more things that we could add to this, but this is just a list that we have made and gathered information across the state. What can school systems do? Of course, invite teachers of 3 and 4-year-olds in private childcare to attend school system provided professional development opportunities for early grade teachers. Put those teachers in one room and he'll let them learn from each other, so when children leave the birth to 5 world or the child care world and go into the school system, that they're ready, and help to make that transition simpler and easier. Ask kindergarten teachers to visit pre-K classrooms and private child care centers and Head Start centers to build relationships with children, families, and early learning teachers. And cross-train kindergarten teachers on Georgia early learning and development standards. Just an option. These are just some ideas. And lastly, what can funders do to promote high-quality early learning experiences? Maybe provide scholarships so that existing infant and toddler teachers can get a degree or initial post-secondary credential. Offer employees financial assistance pay for child care, but only if it's a quality rated program. Of course, I'm decal and I have to say that, I need to. Work with your regional child care resource and referral agency to purchase classroom supplies and materials to help child care programs that are working towards a quality rated star rating. We have heard that many of them need art materials. They need as many art materials as they can get. You know, young children, they do go through these as much as they possibly can, as fast as they can. I think so, but I'm here afterwards if you have questions or if there's anything that I can do and talk to you about early learning, I'm happy to do so. So thank you for having me.
Just want to remind you again, as you go throughout your day-to-day, take a minute, slow down, breathe in some nice, cool air while we have that. Who knows what it'll be next week. But don't let those blessings pass you by today. We've got so many of them. And those blessings lead to a great day for business every day here in Dublin, Lawrence County. We are adjourned. Thank you.
We have natural gas all over town.
Get yourself a natural gas tankless water heater and save space.
And have endless hot water.
Natural gas is more efficient than electricity.
And it's lighter than air.
When you install natural gas appliances,
you can get rebates up to $1,500.
The City of Dublin will finance you up to $7,500.
For 60 months at 0% interest.
Use natural gas for all your outdoor cooking.
It's a luxury.
We're on call 24/7.
You'll call us and we'll be there.
Whether you're building a home or starting a business, City of Dublin Natural Gas has you covered.
We serve commercial and residential gas all across town.
Yeah. Call your gas guys.
At 478-277-5048.
I don't just value my customers, I value the community, and we actually take our customer service here to the next level, and it's because I am nostalgic of this town, and we got a little saying, this is not just a storage facility, it's a personalized storage experience. So we encourage everybody to come on down and take a tour and just see exactly what we're talking about. We have a 50,000 square foot facility, so we can accommodate any size move, and we're in the Rosa Shopping Center at 102 Hillcrest Parkway. And we are an indoor climate-controlled storage facility. We have 5 convenient entry points that include a lean-to canopy that you can get out of the weather. If it's raining, no worries, we got you covered. And on the back side of this facility, we have a loading dock with a loading dock bay where any box truck or 18-wheeler can pull up to for the bigger moves. We've got storage sizes all the way down from 9x6s all the way up to 10x30s. So we can accommodate any size move from clearing out a closet all the way up to a big house or office space that you need to move in. So we got you covered. We've got 24/7 security protection and fire alarm protection. We have cameras in and outside of this building, so you're definitely taken care of. We've got rodent control and pest control covered too. We're not going to just take care of belongings, we're going to take care of you too.
Trying to beat the heat? Come check out our cool deals at Roach Farm and Garden. For your garden and around the house, Roach Farm and Garden has planters, soils, plants, vegetable, and grass seed. Don't forget, it's time to fertilize your yard and pond. Let Roach Farm and Garden help. Got something to feed? ADM, Godfrey, FRM, and Cargill. Roach Farm and Garden has a huge supply of pet and livestock feed. Getting bugged in your own backyard? Flies, fleas, mosquitoes? Roach Farm and Garden has 1 gallon to 110 gallon sprayers. Too hot and you wanting to cool off? Roach Farm and Garden has barrel and pedestal fans, not to mention stock tanks up to 1,000 gallons. While you're shopping, check out our wind chimes, benches, gliders, and chairs. We even got fryers, grills, and griddles, and always carry a full line of Carhartt and Wrangler wear. Before you check out, grab some of our seasonings and sauces, local honey, jams, jellies, and pickles. Looking for concrete benches, statues, and fountains? Roach Farm and Garden has a huge supply and more arriving every day. Roach Manufacturing opened in 1929 as a cotton gin, a third-generation family business, started by William Patrick Roach and Miss Louise Beecham Roach, which now has become Roach Farm and Garden. Since 1929, from Roach Manufacturing to Roach Farm and Garden, third-generation family business here in Dublin and Wrightsville. Come see us.